Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's Wednesday the 4th of November. I'm just going to have a quick catch up on how far we've got with this mould I'm making. That there is the sample you saw me gel up, showing that how to do a line on a mould and everything like that. So that came out alright. I might use them for in my filter system for blocking off the between each chamber. This has moved on a bit, as you can see. There's no reason to flow coat it because it probably won't be outside that much, but I decided I would just to give it a bit better look. Now I'm going to explain what I've done since I last saw you. Not had a lot of time because I went away for 4 days doing a bit of golfing, which were quite successful. I'm pleased with that actually, especially the Saturday. What you can see here, I trimmed off the excess before I actually released. And how you release on something like this, you take this off. Obviously I've already done this, and this is just to show you how to go on. What you do, you put a wedge in there like that, and then you just tap the wedge. As you can see, that's lifting. You do one in the other side, or you'd actually go down the other end. I'll just take you down just to show you. It makes more sense if people have never seen this done, but I'm sure some of you have. You take this end off, and go on the opposite side and just tap that in. That lifts that up and it starts to release. Now it's quite simple when you've actually already released it like I have, but it can get trapped, and I'm not going to lie to you. Let me get out this light. I'm not going to lie to you, it got caught. What had happened, one of the screws, I don't know which side it was now, but one of the screws where it had fastened to the frame popped. It must have popped while I was moving it, and then when I gelled it, it stuck. It caused me issues. So sooner than it just pop up in air, I had to take the screws out the bottom, which some of them the threads went, and then I took the melamine out from the inside, but it was all because a couple of screws had popped. Right, looking at that, everything looks good. What I will do, I'll pause you and then we'll carry on from there. Alright, back again. Just show you now that I have been working on this. If I can get down like that, I'll show you how the line is. Just looks a bit different, but as I said, with all the work I'd got to do on the corners, it was never going to be a perfect line. And what I meant by that, if you look there, having rubbed all the where the filler was and everything in the corner, I've rubbed it away. Now when I do a mould off of this for a filter system, I might do the line on it again, but I'll not have to do half as much rubbing down as I've had to do on this. Now I don't know whether you can see that. There you can see that in the corners. You can see where I've rubbed. I've gone up to I think it's 800 wet and dry. I think I started at 400, but the shiny bit at the side, this bit, is where the melamine was, and it's easier to see in the bottom, I think, so we'll try and show you. You've got a shine in the bottom. Let's see if I can knock that light out. You can see marks in it. Now that's from the melamine, so that all needs wet and drying as well, to try and pull some shine out of it, so we have less work to do on the next mould. You can see all round up there all the corners I've worked on, and there's one bit I've not worked on, only doing a bit of filler, so I'll try and show you the top here. On this bit I've put a bit of filler in there, bit of gel coat, because it chipped a piece out. But as I say, when you're doing any work on a new mould like this, all the corners you're not going to get them perfect first time. So, you know, putting that line on were a bit daft, but it just proves that you can do it. But if you have ever had to repair that, to be a nightmare, because you'd have to get a Breville and grind it back, put the tape on again, fill it with black gel and try and hold that line. Doesn't matter on this. I could actually put, as you can see, I could actually put my fish in it now, but you can see in the bottom the shine from the melamine, but it's patchy. So what I'll do with that is rub it down with 1200, wet and dry, give it a buff. Got to be a hand buff because I haven't got a buffing machine anymore. But on these edges you can see like a line here, and that's where the plasticine was. And the reason for that is you can't force the plasticine into the melamine, so you're going to end up with a ridge every time, so you know you've got to rub that down. But as you can see there, let's have a look there, that's where I put a bit of filler in. It's shiny because I put sellotape over it. I've removed it now, but I've ended up with a bit of a bump there, but all that's got to be rubbed down. All that's got to be fetched back where the plasticine was. Left that line there. But all in all, it's looking good. It's light enough. Pick that up. It's light enough for a measuring tub. And as I say, that's what I set out to do. I only had a change of heart when I decided I was going to make filter chambers and one thing and another, but if you look at that, there's nothing wrong with that. You can see where I've been rubbing down on ends, and I think there's a bit of a hole there, but they can all be sorted. But the more you do on this, the less I'll have to do on the mould, the filter system box when I bring that out. So there you go, just showing you around. It's only the corners where I've worked on them that you can see that the gel coat's been forced through. They can be repaired, but there's no way. I just wanted to prove that it was difficult to do. Something else I did a few years ago, and I realised I was making a mess of it the other day when I watched the video back. I didn't cover my table up, what me and granddaughter did about 3 years ago. We decided that I'd got an old office leatherette table, and it was rubbish, and I'd got some resin, special resin for doing caravan floors, which I didn't need in the end, and I thought, well, I wonder if that would seal the leatherette table. But what I'll do, my granddaughter did a painting of a planet. She invented a new planet with new moons and everything. She did a painting, and we recreated it on the table, and then when it had dried we decided to put resin on it. So there's the table, and actually it made the table workable again. It were breaking up. We did that on it. I know it's a bit crazy because there's all sorts of planets there, but what an imagination she'd got to design that. So I'm going to nip you out back now and just show you the fish on the back and what I've done there. Here we are. I've left some of the air in still and as you can see, the fish are up this end where the air is. Some of them anyway, but the rest of them are pretty much anchored down. But I do believe we've got another 12 degrees day coming tomorrow, and that bit does frighten me, because I can't remember being the extremes we're having from 2 to 5 to 12 to 2. It's crazy, but they look all right. None of them are really suffering, I don't think. And in the front pond I did cover them again, because we were getting down to -2 here. But I am frightened about them. That's why I was doing the measuring tub anyway, to put them in, because the measuring tub's as deep as the pond, but I can put the measuring tub inside. So the sooner I get that done, the better. And I will be, depending whether I go golfing again this weekend and have a couple of 3 days away, I don't know, but I might not do that. I might try and get the filter system done, one of the tubs, and then another measuring tub before next week. But obviously I'll be showing you that. And I've also got to clean my filters today and do some running about, so I don't think I'll be doing any more work this morning on the measuring tub. But thank you for the new subscribers again. I've had some more. I do appreciate it, and I do appreciate the comments. So if you want to make them, subscribe and send a notification so I know you've sent it, because I did find some comments from about 3 months ago which I've only just replied to, because there were no notification came through, and I was just looking through to see what I'd told you all. But as you can see, no filter system there anymore, no air down this end. But I am thinking, when I do make one of the filter boxes from that mould, I might put it on there and use it instead of using the filter that was on that end. I could even make it, put plants in it and make it even a bog filter, I suppose, because I'm going to run, when I do the other pond, I'm going to run a pipe under them slabs down to the drain. So I'm going to leave it at that, ladies and gentlemen. Got a lot to do today, so I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you appreciate how much hard work goes into making a mould and everything else. And I will tell you when I have actually done how much it cost and what time I've put into it. So if you ever want one, just go and buy one. Don't try and make it yourself. Right, bye, thank you very much.